Asthma is a chronic lung condition which causes inflammation and an increase in mucus production in the airways, usually the bronchi, and it can produce a range of symptoms, often cough, breathlessness and wheezing, and the severity of those symptoms can vary from person to person. Asthma is something that you are often born with a tendency to develop. It's not something that we understand to have really strong genetic links, but it does have a tendency to run in families. If asthma is well managed, often you won't have significant nighttime symptoms. But in somebody where their asthma is maybe not as well managed or controlled as it could be, nighttime symptoms are common. And that quite often is cough and wheezing. And the knock-on effect is that the quality of your sleep can end up affected. You have resulting fatigue and poor concentration through the day, and that then just has an associated knock-on effect on the quality of your life. Sometimes there are triggers within the household that are more prevalent in somebody's bedroom. So things like dust mites, mould and damp. But not all of these things are triggers for every asthmatic. Exercising in asthma is important. It's just as important to be fit and active and healthy as an individual with asthma as it is in somebody who doesn't have the condition. Some individuals do have purely exercise-induced asthma. That's not particularly common. If symptoms are developing during exercise, that's more often an indication that overall your asthma control isn't as good as it could be. If you're not accustomed to exercising, it's certainly worth building that up gradually, remembering to warm up and cool down at the end of exercise. If you use a reliever inhaler, which most asthmatics do, make sure you have that with you when you're exercising, and ideally on you, so in your pocket or close by. And consider letting people that you're exercising with know that you have asthma, and let them know where your inhaler is if you happen to need it. Individuals who develop symptoms of asthma during exercise, I would generally suggest stopping, using your inhaler through your spacer ideally, and waiting until your symptoms have completely settled before considering going back to your sport or exercise again. Some people with asthma do certainly have food triggers, but not everybody. That's relatively rare. Occasionally that's a true food allergy linked with somebody's immune system. More often than not, that's more of a food sensitivity that can make your asthma symptoms worse. Inhalers are not the only way of controlling asthma. Identifying and managing triggers is certainly something else that can help. And there are some medication-based treatments that are not inhaled that are suitable for some people with asthma. If you suspect that something is triggering your asthma, then what we'll often suggest is keeping a diary of your symptoms and looking to see if there is any pattern that you can recognise relating to your daily activities and when your symptoms are at their worst. And then if you do suspect that there might be one or more possible triggers there, having a conversation about that, be that with an asthma nurse or your GP, is definitely worth pursuing. The time to see your GP or asthma nurse is when you are having regular asthma symptoms. Asthma really shouldn't interfere with your daily life, day or night. And if you're needing to reach for your reliever inhaler, or it's having an impact on school, work, or your concentration, that's the time to have a conversation with your asthma nurse or GP about your asthma plan, about your treatment, to tailor that for you so that it's not having an impact on your life.